Hello, knife fans. Welcome to the Chef Knives to Go. This is Chef Jason, and I have a real treat today. This is a new product to the site. It's been around maybe 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. There's already been a couple of videos, a lot of hype about this new product, and this is my chance to kind of take a look at it and give my own little review on it. So today we're looking at the new Richmond Kohetsu 210 millimeter Aogami steel stainless clad Gyuto. So I always like to, if available, show you the box. So if you're going to give it as a gift or something like that, what it would come in. So we have this nice little box, and as we unbox it, we have the knife. It comes in the Ferrobrite wrapping, with a little tip guard to make sure that you're safe, and just cardboard to make sure that it stays snug. We will unsheath it to take a look and see what we got here, and then here is this beauty we have here. First impressions of the knife, I'll tell you, when I first put it in my hand, were something that I didn't expect. It is ridiculously light, probably one of the lighter knives I've ever touched, and when Mark Richmond was going to develop this knife, he wanted to develop a something that would compete with the Hiramoto, but did not, for people who wanted a Hiramoto but did not want a Western handle. They wanted a Wa. And so when I picked this up, I did not get the Hiramoto feel. Actually, what I got with this knife, my go-to knife that I use on the line and at work, is my Kohetsu HD. And picking this up, it feels almost identical as far as the look, feel, the handle, the fit and finish to the Kohetsu HD. Extremely sharp out of the box, nice fit and finish. We'll take a look at. I'll go over the specs in 1 second on the knife, but let's just look at the fit and finish of the knife, just so you can see exactly what we're looking at. So on the wood, or the handle, we have magnolia wood, octagonal handle, beautifully buffalo horn ferrule. You can see there's no line in between here. It's nicely tightly together. The glue to adhere the knife to the handle is nice and tight and fit. There's no giant globs of glue hanging out. On the spine of this beautiful distal taper, you can see probably to about 2 to 3 inches to the tip. It starts to really taper down, but a lot of times when you get Japanese knives that aren't upwards of $300 and above, they don't have this really nice smooth curvature on the spine. This is really well done, well grinded, very thin behind the edge. Just it's impressive. And what's going to be most impressive when you go take a look at the site, look at the price point on it. So let's take a look at a bit of the knife specs. I'm going to show you so you can get a little bit of some of the specs on the knife, and I'll put this to the side just so I can have a reference point. So the blade, let's talk about the blade steel. We are looking at Aogami super steel core with a stainless steel cladding. And so let's talk about why that is really cool from someone in my perspective, and why I would want this knife, even particularly potentially over my Kohetsu. So the stainless cladding means it's not going to patina. And so when I'm on the line, the only thing that's going to patina is on the very edge. You'll see the actual core, and if you can get a good look through it, you can see these nice little wavy lines. Some people would consider that a ham-on, and the maker could have, Mark could have had it go straight, but this gives a really cool aesthetic to the knife. And this is the only thing, I've used this a little bit already. You can already see a little bit of color variation, and that's from the Aogami Super Steel Patina. And as you use it, it's going to get darker and darker, so you get a really nice look to it. But from a line perspective, I don't have a lot of time to basically take care of the knife in between service. or in the middle of service. So I don't have time to wipe off any type of acid that has collected on the knife and then clean it off and then have it completely. So the stainless steel cladding is extremely valuable to me. I can clean it, after service or after a major rush, but I don't have a lot of time in the middle of, tickets firing all over the place and having to get out quickly. So that is very appealing to someone like me. Let's talk about some of the dimensions and why this is such a neat little knife. Let me pull up my security features on my doggone iPad. So the weight. When I first picked it up, I thought, it's probably about 4.5 ounces. This knife is actually 4.23 ounces. So probably one of the, if not the lightest Gyutos I've picked up. We have a 50-50 edge profile, so should be pretty easy to sharpen. The thickness at the heel is 2.23. That's about normal to most 210 millimeter major Gyutos. But what's most particular is tip. If you do a lot of tip work and you want to be in the, I guess, laser category, I consider a laser category anything that distal tapers to below 1 millimeter. That's just my little metric. And so this actually, if you take 1 inch from the tip, we're at 0.85 millimeters. So very extreme distal taper. The blade actually did measure out to be 210 millimeters on the edge. We look at the belly of the knife, pretty much I'd say, I don't know, maybe 6/10 of the knife is flat, and then we have the belly with a curved aperture. So if you're trying to get some nice flat chopping and not get accordions, I'd stick with the back of the blade. The Rockwell of the Aogami Super Steel, the core, is probably some of the hardest on the market, 63 to 64. So for edge retention, it should handle pretty well, so you shouldn't have to sharpen all the time. So let's take a look at balance point. I'm guessing because of the way this knife was made, we are probably looking at, yep, pretty well accurate right there. Blade heavy, but pretty much where you would probably, a little bit above where I would hold my grip for a pinch grip. So I mean, as cool as you can get. Let me tell you a story also why I would probably pick this knife over my Kohetsu HD. All things being equal, let's just say the it cuts as well. It's it's nice sharp behind the edge. All things being equal, this is a fraction of the cost of what the Kohetsu would be. And so this happened twice over the last 4 months, where I was training a new guy on the line. When you're on the line, you'll want to keep all of your utensils products in the same spot. So let's just say right here is where I always keep it, so that way I'm not even thinking, I know where to grab it and then put it right back. And so just you move, it's like a dance, and you're moving with a flow back there in the kitchen. Well, when you train a new guy, things change, and just he's got the chef looking at him, he's all scared, and tickets are flying all over the place. And so let's just say he puts the knife right here. Well, it messes the whole game up, so he needs a knife real quick. I say, listen, just use my knife. He grabs it, it's not the right place, someone uses it, and all of a sudden it drops. I've had my tip broken twice on my lovely Kohetsu. It is what it is. I told him he could use it. I knew what I was doing when I put it there. Well, let's just say the same thing happens with this knife. The tip breaks, it stinks, no doubt, but it's not as bad because this is a fraction of the cost of the Kohetsu. But it's given the same performance, and I would actually venture to say this would give the same performance as a Kohetsu, and I'm going to show you just about right now, but why this competes toe-to-toe with the Hiramoto Kohetsu, and for a price point, why it might be even a more viable option. So let's take a look. We'll do some just some dicing to get us going. So. Do a little rocking just so you can see what it's like. Very easy to rock. I'll just get rid of this puppy. So very easy. I'll clean the knife off a bit. Let me try to clean the board up before I change products. Apologize for the wait while I clean. Alright, let's move on to our carrot. We'll just do some regular chopping. I mean, I bought this at home. Typically we would peel a carrot. I'm not going to be eating this. We're just using it for demo purposes. So let's just do some just chopping. So I mean, it goes through like butter. I mean, you can see how thin we are getting. So I mean, again, I told you before, I mean, it performs right there in line with Kohetsu, and I want to try and show you the see in action. And that was an old onion, because I'm starting to tear up as we're talking. Could be the tears of joy from this puppy, or that's just one old onion. We'll take some scallions, bunch them up, and let's rock them out. So here we go. I mean, as easy as can be. Lastly, I got a couple comments on videos they want to see, slicing. They said anyone can chop and doesn't really give an indicator of how sharp it is. I don't necessarily agree, but let's just take your tomato and we'll slice for, let's say, BLTs or whatever. I mean, it is ridiculous. I mean, let's look at how thin these are. You can't get more paper thin than these right here. So I can't say enough how impressive this knife is for the price point that you're going to get it at. So highly recommend taking a look at this knife, exclusive to Chef Knives to Go. I mean, it's a rock star, and it's going to be the #1 selling knife on the site just because of its performance ability and its price point. It's priced at probably a little bit more than a Tojiro, but it performs at as good as a Kohetsu or a Hiramoto. So check it out on Chef Knives to Go. 2.5 weeks old. It's a rock star in its own league. Thanks for watching the review. Stay sharp, and we'll see you soon.